Welcome to class 11 chemistry. Today we'll have numerical session. See, numericals based on Graham's law of diffusion and Dalton's law of partial pressures. So a certain quantity of gas occupies volume of 0.8 liters collected over water. Gas is collected over water at 300 Kelvin and a pressure of 0.92 bar. Same gas occupies a volume of 0.08 liter at STP in dry conditions. Calculate the aqueous tension. You know what is meant by an aqueous tension? Did you remember, students? What is meant by an aqueous tension? So aqueous tension means it's the pressure of water vapor. It's the pressure of water vapor. See, we don't know what is the aqueous tension. Generally, let the aqueous tension at 300 Kelvin be P. Let the aqueous tension at 300 Kelvin the P bar. Okay, I am taking it as P bar. So the pressure of the dry gas. See, here gas is collected over water, that means moist gas. Pressure of moist gas, it is given as 0.92 bar. Okay, pressure of the moist gas is given as 0.92 bar. So here pressure of the dry gas is equal to, what is the formula? Pressure of the moist gas minus aqueous tension. Did you remember? Aqueous tension. So pressure of the dry gas is equal to pressure of the moist gas is 92 minus aqueous tension, we don't know, that is P. Okay, P represents here aqueous tension. So next, after that we'll have so conclusion. Here I am taking under dry condition, pressure of dry gas is equal to 0.92 minus P, right? So I am taking it as P1 and V1 is given as 0.8 liters and T1 is given as 300 Kelvin, right? So at the same time STP conditions here, if you take STP conditions, P2 at STP condition you have to take it as 1 bar pressure and V2 you have to take it as 0.08 liter and T2 temperature, how much you have to take? 273.15 Kelvin. So here what formula you will use here, students? P1 V1 by T1. P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. So from this formula you are supposed to calculate the aqueous tension, right? 0.92 minus P into V1 how much? 0.8 by T1 300 is equal to P2 how much? 1 into V2 0.08 by T2 273.15. So substitute, students, and it's your turn, you have to do the calculation. So if you do the calculation, finally you are supposed to calculate P value. So do that P value, students. P represents here aqueous tension. You should get approximately this much. Okay, students, next. Come on, quick. At sea level, the composition of dry air is approximately nitrogen 75.5%, oxygen 23.2%, argon 1.3% by mass. If the total pressure at sea level is 1 bar, what is the partial pressure of each component? So here first we will calculate number of moles of each component. First of all, number of moles of nitrogen, right? I am calculating number of moles of nitrogen, that is NN2. Number of moles of nitrogen is equal to mass. What is the mass of nitrogen given? 75.5 by gram molecular mass of nitrogen molecule is 28, N2. So you calculate, you will get 2.7. So first you calculate the number of moles of nitrogen. Next, number of moles of oxygen you calculate. So that is mass of oxygen how much? 23.2 grams. But gram molecular mass 32, O2 molecule 32 molecular mass. So you will get this one, number of moles of oxygen, and after calculating number of moles of oxygen, number of moles of argon. So number of moles of argon is equal to mass 1.3 gram molar mass of argon, you have to take it as 40. So that is equal to, you will get approximately this one. Okay, after calculating the number of moles, you calculate total number of moles. So total number of moles is equal to, you have to take the sum of all the moles here, nitrogen, number of moles of nitrogen plus number of moles of oxygen plus number of moles of argon. Okay students, so if you calculate total number of moles, you should get 3.4575. so that is total number of moles. First he is asking to calculate, asking us for, after calculating this, mole fraction of nitrogen you calculate. So what is X represents here? Mole fraction. So mole fraction of nitrogen is equal to, what is the formula? Number of moles of nitrogen divided by total number of moles. Total number of moles, that is equal to number of moles of nitrogen. How much students? Number of moles of nitrogen, that is we got 2.7 by total number of moles 3.4575. So somewhat lengthy students, so we will get 0.781. How to calculate, even though it is lengthy, but model is important. This model is given in recent NEET exam, 2020 NEET exam. Very easy it is given, easy going calculation terms they have given. Okay, next, mole fraction of oxygen is equal to number of moles of oxygen divided by total number of moles. Total number of moles. So number of moles of oxygen, how much we got students? 0.725 by total number of moles 3.4575. Do that, you will get 0.209. Okay, how to calculate, and if any error is there, you have to tell me. Mole fraction of argon is equal to number of moles of argon divided by total number of moles. Number of moles of argon divided by total number of moles. So number of moles of argon, how much students? 0.0325 by 3.4575. So that is equal to 9.39 into 10 power minus 3. So finally, after calculating this mole fractions, so what is the formula for partial pressure? Partial pressure of nitrogen is equal to mole fraction of nitrogen into total pressure, P total. Did you remember this formula? Partial pressure is equal to partial pressure of a component is equal to mole fraction of the component into total pressure. So partial pressure of nitrogen is equal to mole fraction of nitrogen, how much students? 0.781. 0.781 into total pressure. Here you have to take total pressure, atmospheric pressure. Here one you can take. Total pressure you have to take it as 1. Very important. They won't give in the it is given. Total pressure 1 bar is given. So finally you will get 0.781 bar. That is the partial pressure of nitrogen. At the same time, partial pressure of oxygen is equal to mole fraction of oxygen into total pressure. So what is the mole fraction of oxygen we got here? 0.209 into total pressure. So you will get 0.209 bar. Next, partial pressure of argon. Partial pressure of argon is equal to mole fraction of argon into P total. So mole fraction of argon, how much you got? That is 9.39 into 10 power minus 3 into 1. So you will get 9.39 into 10 power minus 3 bar. So this is about mole fraction. So what is the partial pressure of each component? He has asked, and we have calculated partial pressure of nitrogen, oxygen and argon. Very important model, but easy going calculations they are going to ask in objective bits. Okay students, next, very important model. Next, a 2 liter flask contains 1.6 grams of methane, 0.5 grams of hydrogen. At 27 degrees Celsius, calculate the partial pressure of each gas in the mixture and hence the total pressure. So same model students, first what you have to calculate? Number of moles of methane is equal to mass of methane. What is the mass of methane given? 1.6 by gram molecular mass of methane is 16, so you'll get 0.1. So at the same time, number of moles of hydrogen is equal to mass of hydrogen, how much given? Mass of hydrogen 0.5, gram molecular mass 2, so 0.5 by 2, here you will get 0.25 mole, that is into 10 to the minus 1. Okay, how much you will get students? Calculate properly. 5 into 10 power minus 1 by 2. So you can write as 2.5 into 10 power minus 1. So you get right only 0.25. Right. Next, after calculating number of moles of hydrogen, total number of moles, N is equal to number of moles of methane plus number of moles of hydrogen. So 0.1 plus, here how much students? 0.25. So 0.1 plus 0.25, total number of moles how much? 0.1 plus 0.25. So like this we can calculate, but volume is changed, I think so. 2-liter flask contains, he has asked. Calculate the partial pressure. Okay, no need of total number of moles here, I think so. Directly we can do. Okay, no problem. 0.10, 0.25. So total number of moles 0.35. Okay. Next, mole fraction I am taking. So better we can do like this. PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to nRT. So here partial pressure of hydrogen is equal to number of moles of hydrogen into RT by V. Okay. So that is equal to number of moles of hydrogen, how much given? Number of moles of hydrogen 0.25 into R value 0.0821 into 300 by volume, how much given? Liters 2. Volume is given as 2 liters. So solve this one, students. Finally we will get partial pressure of hydrogen. If you solve, you should get 3.079 atmospheres. So solve it, don't leave it. Next, partial pressure of hydrogen is equal to here nRT by number of moles of hydrogen by V. So number of moles of hydrogen, how much? 0.25 into 0.0821 to temperature, how much given? Temperature, same temperature, I think so, 300 by volume, same volume, 2. So solve this one, and finally partial pressure of hydrogen, you will get 3. See here, partial pressure of hydrogen you are calculating. Sorry, again we calculated that. Partial pressure of methane, how much, students? Hydrogen. Okay, we have to calculate partial pressure of methane. Again I repeat it. So here you take partial pressure of methane, and here you have to take number of moles of methane. And what are the number of moles of methane, students? See carefully. Number of moles of methane 0.1. You have to take 0.1 here. Okay, 0.1. You take here 0.1. So finally, partial pressure of methane is equal to, how much you will get? 1.23 atm you will get. So from that, what is asking? Total pressure. So total pressure is equal to, according to Dalton's law of partial pressures, total pressure is equal to partial pressure of methane plus partial pressure of hydrogen, and you add 1.23 plus 3.079, finally you will get 4.31 atmospheres. Like that you have to calculate, very easy sum. Next, 2 grams of hydrogen and 128 grams of oxygen are contained in a 20-liter flask. Calculate the total pressure of the mixture. If a spark ignites the mixture, what will be the final pressure? So same you will calculate. So same model, students. Number of moles of hydrogen you calculate. Number of moles of hydrogen is equal to mass by gram molecular mass 10. Number of moles of oxygen you calculate. Mass of oxygen 128, gram molecular mass 32. So 4 moles. So from this you will get total. So actually okay, total pressure. So we know, actually read the question. Calculate the total pressure of the mixture he is asking. So for this purpose, P total, PV is equal to nRT, na? So P nRT by V. So here total number of moles you have to take, N total. So P total is equal to, so in place of N total, number of moles of hydrogen plus number of moles of oxygen, total number of moles into RT by V. So substitute, directly we will get. So number of moles of hydrogen, how much, students? Number of moles of hydrogen, it is 10 plus 4. The R value, how much you will take? 0.0821. The temperature 473 by volume, how much given? 20 liters. So finally I will get total P total. P total is equal to 27.15 atm. Come on, do it, calculation. So after that, what he has given, if a spark ignites the mixture, what will be the final pressure? See, suppose if you heat, what is the equation involved in this? Suppose if you heat it, actually it is, they are non-reacting gases. Suppose if you heat, those gases undergo reaction, okay, then you are going to get water. So if spark is applied, means you have to raise the temperature, you have to increase the temperature, then those gases will interact with each other at the temperature of the spark. So here, how many moles of oxygen? Actually, in the given question, number of moles of oxygen, how much we got above? Number of moles of oxygen, 4 moles. So 4 moles of oxygen interacted with actually number of moles of oxygen 4 moles. Previously, in the above case, we have calculated number of moles of oxygen. So 4 moles of oxygen, if you take, if this is spark, if you raise the temperature, 4 moles of oxygen interacts with how many moles of hydrogen? 4 moles of oxygen will react with, according to the equation, 4 moles of oxygen, because how many, twice it is. Actually, suppose number of moles of oxygen here 1, they are in present in according to balanced equation, oxygen is to hydrogen number of moles 1:2 ratio, right? So if you take 4 moles of oxygen, number of moles of hydrogen will be 8 moles of hydrogen. So because they maintain 1:2 ratio in balanced equation, so if it is 1 mole, hydrogen mole ratio is 2. If it is 4 moles of oxygen, you will get 8 moles of oxygen. So 4 moles of oxygen will react with 8 moles of oxygen, 8 moles of oxygen, and this ultimately form 8 moles of water from the balanced equation. 8 moles of water. So finally, did you understand? 4 moles of oxygen interacts with when the spark is supplied, it requires 8 moles of hydrogen, and how many moles of water is formed according to that equation? 8 moles of water. So, but how many moles of oxygen? So that means here, according to this, 2 moles of hydrogen will remain unreacted. So from this, you have to think 2 moles of hydrogen will remain unreacted. This is very important point. So 2 moles of hydrogen will remain unreacted. The actual number of moles of hydrogen, how much, student? Actually 10 moles, but here we got 8 moles only. But 2 moles of hydrogen remain unreacted. So while taking, you have to take, if you want to calculate final pressure, so I am calculating final pressure. If I want to calculate final pressure, so that is equal to P, final pressure. If you take P, NH2, number of moles of hydrogen plus number of moles of oxygen into RT by V. So here number of moles of hydrogen, here I am taking only 2. 2 moles of hydrogen will remain unreacted. So that also I have to consider. 2 plus number of moles of oxygen, I am taking 8 after the spark is supplied. So 0.0821 into temperature 473 by 20. So we'll get 19.39 atm. Be careful in the last step. See, actual total pressure required 27.15 atmosphere if you consider all the number of moles. But 2 moles of hydrogen remain unreacted. If it is remain unreacted, then I have to take that 4 moles of oxygen will react with 8 moles of hydrogen to give 8 moles of water. But here 2 moles of hydrogen will remain unreacted. That number of moles also you consider. Then you will get final pressure, this one. Next. Come on, quick. The total pressure of a gaseous mixture of 2.8 grams of nitrogen, 3.2 grams of oxygen, 0.5 grams of hydrogen is given. calculate the partial pressure of each gas. So very easy method. So same model it is given in NEET. Same model this year based on Dalton's law only. So you calculate number of moles of nitrogen 2.8 by 28. So how much you will get 0.1. So number of moles of oxygen how much 3.2 by 32. How much by 10? How many times? 0.1. So in the same manner number of moles of hydrogen. So how much you will get 0.5 by 2, 0.25. So after calculating all this, total number of moles you take immediately. So number of moles of nitrogen plus number of moles of oxygen plus number of moles of hydrogen. So total number of moles you will get 0.45. That is total number of moles. Okay. Total number of moles. Then after calculation, so you calculate mole fraction. Mole fraction of nitrogen is equal to number of moles of nitrogen divided by total number of moles. 0.45. So what is the 0.45? Okay, keep it like this. Okay, mole fraction of oxygen is equal to number of moles of oxygen divided by total number of moles. 0.45. Mole fraction of hydrogen is equal to number of moles of hydrogen divided by total number of moles. So I have taken all the individually partial pressure formula. Partial pressure of nitrogen is equal to mole fraction of nitrogen into total pressure, P total. So that is equal to mole fraction of nitrogen 0.1 by 0.45 into P total, that is 4.5. It is given. So we'll get 1. Okay. Next, partial pressure of oxygen is equal to mole fraction of oxygen into P total. So what you will get? Mole fraction of oxygen. So 0.1 by 0.45 into P total 4.5. So you will get 1. So now partial pressure of what I have to calculate? Hydrogen is equal to mole fraction of hydrogen into total pressure. What is the mole fraction of hydrogen? 0.25 by 0.45 into 4.5. You will get 2.5. Like that you have to calculate. Very easy sum. Next. See students, very easy theory questions, quick. Equal volume molecules of nitrogen and oxygen are kept in a closed container at pressure P. If nitrogen is removed from the system, then what will be the pressure of the container? Equal molecules. So according to Avogadro's law, equal molecules of nitrogen and oxygen contain equal volumes. So number of moles directly proportional to volume here. Avogadro's law. Equal molecules of nitrogen and oxygen are kept in closed container at a pressure P. If nitrogen is removed from the system, then what will be the pressure of the container? Pressure of the actual total pressure is equal to PN2 plus PO2. So if I remove half, that means equal molecules now. If I remove half, pressure also becomes half. Next, Dalton's law of partial pressures is not applicable to mixture of non-reacting gases H2 and Cl2. See, is not applicable to. Actually, it is applicable to non-reacting gases. H2, nitrogen, hydrogen will not react. See here, is not applicable to. So mixture of H2 and Cl2, they react instantaneously to give HCl. Reacting gases will not follow Dalton's law of chemically reacting gases will not follow Dalton's law of partial pressures. Next, equal volumes of all gases under the same conditions of temperature and pressure contain equal number of molecules. Next, 0.5 mole of hydrogen, sulfur dioxide and methane is kept in a container, equal moles. A hole was made in the container. After 3 hours, the order of their partial pressures in the container will be. See, actually, equal moles given. Actually, molecular mass of hydrogen is 2 grams, sulfur dioxide 64, methane 16 grams. It's kept in a container. A hole was made in the container. After 3 hours, the order of partial pressures in the container, which one will be present more in the container? So lighter gases will first escape out from the container. Lighter gases will first escape out from the container. So rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to molecular weight, square root of molecular weight. So lighter gases, those gases having low molecular weight, they diffuse fast. So if they diffuse fast means their percentage of component of that particular gas will become less. So sulfur dioxide having more molecular weight, its rate of diffusion will be less. If its rate of diffusion from the whole is less, means more percentage of sulfur dioxide is present in the container. So from this you can take PSO2 greater than partial pressure of methane greater than partial pressure of hydrogen. Next, why dry air is heavier than moist air? Why dry air is heavier than moist air? See, average molecular weight of dry air is given as percentage of nitrogen into 28, its molecular weight, plus percentage of oxygen into its molecular weight. That is the average molecular weight of dry air. But if you take average molecular weight of moist air, not only the percentage of gases, but also you have to take the percentage of moisture also into consideration. So that's why dry air is heavier than moist air. Average molecular weight of dry air is more, and so is its density. Try to understand the content clearly. Solution is given. You have to try to understand the content. Think. A vessel of 4 liter capacity contains 4 grams of methane and 1 gram of hydrogen. Calculate the partial pressure of each gas and total pressure of the container. So same model, students. It's left for you. You have to do it. So it is left for you, students. You have to calculate PV is equal to nRT formula. You apply. Separately you calculate partial pressure of hydrogen. Separately you calculate partial pressure of methane gas. Number of moles of hydrogen, number of moles of methane also you have to calculate. Number of moles of hydrogen, mass by gram molecular mass. Number of moles of methane. So like that, after that PV is equal to nRT you substitute. Separately you write for hydrogen. Separately you apply expression for methane. And finally you will get partial pressure of hydrogen, partial pressure of methane. So total pressure is equal to partial pressure of hydrogen plus partial pressure of methane. So that is the final step. This model already we did this one, so it's repeated. Next, compare the rates of diffusion of uranium 235 UF6, that is UF6 molecule, uranium isotope 235, uranium isotope 238 F6. So you already know that rates of diffusion, Graham's law is mainly used for the separation of mixture of isotopes. So basing on that it is given uranium isotopes, two different uranium isotopes 235, 238 are given. Now let the rates of diffusion of uranium 235 be R1 and uranium 238 be R2. Molecular weight, molecular mass of uranium 235. So here how you will calculate molecular weight? Uranium 235 plus 6 fluorine, 6 into 19, 349. This is M1 he has taken. Next M2, 238 you have to take. 238 plus 6 into 19, 352. So you know the formula, Graham's law, rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to its molecular mass. R1 by R2 is equal to square root of M2 by M1. So finally what will be the ratio? Uranium 235 is to uranium 238, 1.0004 is to 1. So very easy sum. Next, the relative densities of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases are given 16 and 22. If 25 ml of carbon dioxide effuses out in 75 seconds, what is the volume of oxygen? What volume of oxygen will effuse out in 96 seconds under similar conditions? So very easy sum, students. So here gases, two gases are given. One is carbon dioxide and other one is oxygen gas. So from this, volume of carbon dioxide 25 ml, time taken for the diffusion of carbon dioxide, that is given as 75 seconds. Volume of oxygen gas diffused, we don't know, I am taking it as V. And time taken for the diffusion of oxygen gas is given as 96 seconds. After that, here relative density of carbon dioxide, relative density of carbon dioxide is equal to 22. Next, relative density of oxygen is equal to 16, it is given. So this is the data given for you. So you know the formula. Rate of diffusion of oxygen by rate of diffusion of carbon dioxide is equal to square root of relative density of carbon dioxide by relative density of oxygen. Square root you have to take. Okay. First. Next. Relative density of oxygen. What is the formula? Volume of oxygen diffused by time taken for oxygen diffusion. At the same time, relative the rate of diffusion of carbon dioxide is equal to volume of the carbon dioxide gas diffused by time taken for the diffusion of carbon dioxide gas. That is equal to square root of relative density of carbon dioxide, how much? 22 by 16. So all you substitute. What is the volume of oxygen given here? Volume of oxygen we don't know na. So V. Time taken for the diffusion of oxygen gas 96. Volume of carbon dioxide 25. Time taken for the diffusion of carbon dioxide 75 is equal to square root of 22 by 16. Students, you solve this one. You will get V value. Approximately you should get 37.5 cm3. Very easy sum. If you read the content, you will get it easily. Next, a mixture of 50 ml of hydrogen and 50 ml of oxygen is allowed to effuse through an effusometer till the residual gas contains 90 ml. What is the composition of effused gas and residual gas? Effused gas means which come out from the hole, and residual gas means which left in the container. Gas which is left inside the container. That is residual gas. So Graham's law of diffusion we will apply. Here hydrogen and oxygen, two gases are mentioned here. So volume of hydrogen, how much given, students? 50 ml. At the same time volume of oxygen 50 ml. Volume is same. Next, so be careful here. Rate of effusion of hydrogen by rate of effusion of oxygen. First you do this one. Rate of effusion of hydrogen divided by rate of effusion of oxygen is equal to square root of molecular weight of oxygen divided by molecular weight of hydrogen. That is Graham's law formula. So what ratio they may be here? Rate of effusion of hydrogen by rate of effusion of oxygen is equal to square root of 32 by 2. So you will get 4. Right? Volume of mixture effused. So how much volume of the mixture effused? Volume of the mixture effused is equal to total volume, how much? Two gases, 50 plus 50. That is total volume minus residual gas. Residual means which didn't go outside. That is 90 ml given. So 10 ml of the gas is volume of the mixture effused is 10 ml. So out of total volume, now volume of hydrogen gas effused is equal to XML I am taking. At the same time, volume of oxygen effused, how much it will be? I am taking this 10 minus X. Okay. Now so rate of effusion of hydrogen is equal to volume of hydrogen effused by time taken for hydrogen effused. How much? Hydrogen gas X by time taken, how much? Time. Time not mentioned. A mixture of 50 ml of hydrogen, 50 ml of oxygen is allowed to effuse through. What is the composition of effused gas and what is the composition of residual gas they are asking. So here time is not given. Equal times. We have to consider equal times. I am taking it as 1. Next. rate of effusion of oxygen gas is equal to volume of oxygen gas effused by time taken. So here 10 minus x by 1 equal times I am taking. So from this you already know rate of effusion of hydrogen by rate of, in the previous case, that is equal to 4 you got in the first step. So from this I can write x by 1 by, that means x by 10 minus x is equal to 4. So from this, if you calculate x value is equal to 8. What is x here? Volume of hydrogen gas effused, 8 ml. So volume of hydrogen gas effused is equal to 8 ml. Next, volume of oxygen gas effused, then it will become 10 minus x, that is equal to 10 minus 8, 2 ml. Okay. Next, what is the composition of residual gas? So we know that how much volume of oxygen gas came out from the whole, 8 ml. How much volume of oxygen gas, hydrogen gas 8 ml, oxygen gas 2 ml. So now residual means how much volume of oxygen gas kept as residual gas. So composition of residual gas, that means the gas which is not effused. Residual gas, residual hydrogen gas, that is equal to total volume how much? 50 initially minus 8, so 42 ml. Next, composition of residual oxygen gas, that means the gas which is not coming out. So total volume of oxygen gas given as 50 and volume of oxygen gas effused, how much? 2 ml minus 2, so you will get 48 ml. So very important model for IIT students especially. Next, this is very important model. A straight glass tube has 2 inlets. So I am taking a straight glass tube. Okay, let us take, this is a straight glass tube. It has got 2 inlets. This is one end of the rod. 2 inlets are there, students. Has 2 inlets, X and Y at 2 ends. The length of the tube, total length of the tube is given. Total length of the tube is given as D. That is, I am considering as, that is 200 centimeters. Okay, not D. 200 centimeters is the total length. Okay. Next, HCl gas through inlet X. So this is inlet X. This is Y. So from this inlet X end, which gas is passed? HCl gas. And ammonia gas is passed through inlet Y. Where is that? Here. From this side, ammonia gas is passed. Okay, let's pass them. So are allowed to enter into the tube at the same time. So if these 2 gases enter into the tube, what happens when ammonia interacts with HCl gas? Ammonia gas interacts with HCl gas, both are reacting gases. You are going to get ammonium chloride solid. It's a white cloud is appeared in the tube. So white flames first appear at the point P inside the tube. Find the distance of P from the X. Find the distance of P. See, both will come, and finally at certain point, whatever it may be. See, suppose at this point I got white cloud. This is the point P. This is the point P. Now what he is telling, white flames first appear at point P inside the tube. Find the distance of that point P from X. So he is asking this distance. So we don't know what is the distance here from X to, so let distance be D. Let D be the distance here. Let the distance between P and X be D centimeters. Okay. Let the distance between P point and X inlet be d centimeters. Okay, then distance between P and Y, what will be the distance between here P and Y? Total length is 200 na, so this becomes 200 minus d, right? Distance between P and Y will be, so let the distance between point P and Y inlet is equal to 200 minus d, 200 minus d because centimeters, that is. So these two gases meet at a point P in time t. Time is same, it is given. So here rate of diffusion of HCl is equal to distance travelled by that HCl gas by time taken for distribution. So volume of the gas diffusion means here volume of HCl gas diffused divided by time taken for diffusion. Okay, so here distance I am taking, volume, here distance by time I can take. So I can take volume of HCl gas diffused, that is d, time t. Okay, next, rate of diffusion of ammonia. Rate of diffusion of ammonia gas. So here what is the formula? Volume of ammonia gas diffused by time taken. So volume means distance it will travel na. So you can consider it as distance, 200 minus d by same time t. Times are same. It is given in the question itself. So what is the formula, students? Two gases. Rate of diffusion of HCl divided by rate of diffusion of ammonia gas is equal to square root of molecular mass of ammonia divided by molecular mass of HCl. Now, rate of diffusion of HCl how much? D by T. Here 200 minus D by T. Molecular mass of ammonia 17 by, and here 36.5, right? Do the calculation. TT cancel here. Okay, T and T gets, so D by 200 minus D is equal to square root of 17 by 36.5. So from this, students, I am going to get D value how much? So calculate the D value. You should get 81.12 centimeter. Do the calculation. Very, very important model, student. Already previous repeated question, this one. For even for NEET students also, it is very, very important. Do it quickly. Oh my god, come on quick. 1 mole of nitrogen gas at 0.8 atmosphere takes 38 seconds to diffuse through a pinhole, while 1 mole of an unknown fluoride of xenon, some fluoride of xenon at 1.6 atmosphere takes 57 seconds to diffuse through the same hole. Calculate the molecular formula, not formation, molecular formula of the compound. Very easy compound, very easy. You know that here any pressure is given. Okay, already if you read the notes, P by rate of diffusion is proportional to P by square root of m. Remember that point. And here rate of diffusion of nitrogen gas is equal to volume, it is given 1 mole of nitrogen gas and 0.8 atmosphere takes 38 seconds to diffuse through. So rate of volume of nitrogen gas diffused by time taken for diffusion of nitrogen. Volume how much? Volume is nothing but moles, you can take 1, and time taken for diffusion, it is given as 38 seconds. So in the same manner, rate of diffusion of some unknown we don't know what it is, unknown compound. So volume of unknown compound divided by time taken for diffusion of unknown compound. So volume of the gas diffused for unknown compound, how much it is given? 1 mole of unknown fluoride of xenon it is given. So 1 by time 57 seconds. Okay, that is rate of diffusion of unknown xenon fluoride. So from this we can write, keep it like that. So you already know rate of diffusion of nitrogen is proportional to partial pressure of nitrogen divided by P by square root of D, square root of M, molar mass of nitrogen. Keep it like this. So rate of diffusion of nitrogen. So rate of diffusion of nitrogen is at the same time, this is first equation. Rate of diffusion of unknown is also proportional to partial pressure of unknown by square root of molecular mass of unknown compound. Okay, so take this one, you consider it as equation 2. So take the ratio rate of diffusion of nitrogen by rate of diffusion of unknown is equal to partial pressure of nitrogen by square root of molar mass of nitrogen into molecular mass of unknown divided by, if you take the ratio, partial pressure of unknown. So substitute. So what is the rate of diffusion of nitrogen? R into 1 by 38 by unknown 1 by 57. Partial pressure of nitrogen. What is the partial pressure of nitrogen? How much it is given for nitrogen? Read the question. At 0.8 atmosphere. So 0.8 by square root of 28 for nitrogen molecular mass. So square root of, square root of unknown, molecular mass of unknown we don't know. I am taking it as M unknown. Square root of M unknown by partial pressure of unknown 1.6 it is given. So do the calculation. So finally from this you are going to get, if you do all this nonsense calculation, big one, you will get molecular mass of unknown. Do it. 252 gram per mole you will get. So what is this? Molecular mass of unknown fluoride, xenon fluoride. Molecular mass of xenon fluoride, we don't know Xg, F, I don't know how many fluorines are there, that's why Xg is equal to how much we got? 252. Now xenon atomic weight you should know. So we can write atomic weight of xenon plus n moles of atomic weight of fluorine is equal to 252. So from this atomic weight of xenon you have to take 131 plus n times atomic weight of fluorine you have to take it as 19 is equal to 252. Calculate this, you will get n value as some 6.2 some 1. So approximately round of it, n is equal to 6. And what is the molecular mass? Molecular formula of the xenon fluoride compound Xg(H6). So here n is equal to 6. So that is the molecular mass of the compound. Okay students, very important model. I want to do it quickly. The volumes of ozone and chlorine diffusing in the same time, ozone gas O3, chlorine Cl2 diffusing in the same time, volumes are different. If the molecular weight of chloride is 71, calculate the molecular weight of ozone. So very easy sum, students. Here competition between so here very easy. Rate of diffusion of ozone gas is equal to volume of ozone gas divided by time taken for diffusion of ozone gas. So volume of ozone gas, how much given? 35. Same time it is given, so I am taking that T. Okay, next, rate of diffusion of other gas, what is that? Chlorine, is equal to volume of chlorine gas diffused by time taken for the diffusion of chlorine gas. So 29 by, here also same time, both gases diffuse in the same time it is given. So keep it like this. Okay, now you already know the formula. Rate of diffusion of ozone by rate of diffusion of chlorine gas is equal to molecular mass of chlorine by molecular mass of ozone. So that is equal to square root of 71 by ozone. 3/16, 48 you will get molecular mass of ozone. Okay, do it. So here you can substitute now what he is asking there. First of all, calculate the molecular weight of ozone. Actually we know, but he is asking ozone molecular weight. Okay, let us do it. So don't take it. He is asking X, you take it as X. Okay, now rate of diffusion of ozone, how much? 35 by T. In this you can substitute 35 by T by 29 by T is equal to square root of 71 by X. Solve this one. Finally X is equal to, you should get approximately 48 points, nearly 48 gram per mole. At 20 degrees Celsius, two balloons of equal volume, porosity or filled to a pressure of 2 atmospheres, one with 14 kg nitrogen and other with 1 kg of hydrogen. The nitrogen balloon leaks to a pressure of 1/2 atm in 1 hour. How long will it take for hydrogen balloon to reach a pressure of 1/2? Very good bit, super bit. Two balloons of equal volume, volume is same, and or filled to a pressure, one with nitrogen, one balloon is filled with nitrogen, other balloon is filled with hydrogen. Okay, now read the data clearly. Same time also here same. So rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to square root of its density. So here how to do this? So first, rate of diffusion of nitrogen gas is equal to pressure leaked divided by time. So that is 1/2. Time how much? 10 hours. 10 hours. Okay, 10 hours. So rate of diffusion of hydrogen you do. Here also pressure leaked divided by time. So pressure leaked here also 1/2, and time we don't know, T. How much time he is asking? So okay, so rate of diffusion is inverse. Rate of diffusion of nitrogen by rate of diffusion of hydrogen is equal to molecular mass of hydrogen divided by molecular mass of nitrogen. Substitute here. So rate of diffusion of nitrogen means here 1/2 by 10, 1/2 by T is equal to square root of 2 by 28. So that is equal to square root of 1/14. So you should do this. So 1/2 into 1/2 by 10/1 means here 1/10. 1/2 by 10/1 by 1/2 by T. So 1/2 into 1/10 divided by 1 by 2 by t is equal to square root of 1 by 14. Solve this one. So you should get time square roots. You have to do this much hours, and you can convert into minutes if you want, into 60 minutes. So you'll get 16 minutes. Okay, students, we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.